Hey friends, welcome to Cooking with DeeDee. Today we're going to make some savory hamburger stew. I normally make beef stew with roast beef, but I didn't have any, so we're going to use some 80% lean ground beef and some Waygu beef. Instead, you want to peel and rinse your potatoes. I use yellow gold and russet. That's what I had on hand. I cut up about 5 small potatoes and place them in a pot of water with about 3 to 4 cups of water. While my potatoes are boiling, I'm going to go on and get started on my meat. Now, I know some cooks, they do their raw potatoes, meat, and vegetables all together in one pot. I just cook in layers, so this is how I'm doing mine. My potatoes will boil for about 25 to 30 minutes. With a teaspoon or 2 of some olive oil placed in your skillet, go on and add your meat, your seasonings. I'm using Cajun seasoning, some all-purpose house seasoning that I love to purchase from H-E-B, a little garlic, and I'll add some more later throughout the cooking process. This is my favorite seasoning right there, all-purpose. You can use it on just about anything. My skillet is on medium-high. I added about a tablespoon of some Italian seasoning. I very rarely have fresh garlic on hand, so I'm using the minced garlic that I found in the produce department in this jar. About a tablespoon or 2 of that. And the meat that I purchased, the regular ground beef, was 80%. So I drain all the fat off of that. All right, I'm using some better than beef bouillon to give it that beefy flavor. I'm using about a half a cup of water. I'm going to whisk that in until it's dissolved completely. Now I'm adding 2 bags of mixed vegetables. And the one vegetable I wish I had in there, well, not a vegetable, but a bean, are the lima beans, but I didn't have any. All right, as you can see, I have drained the meat. I'm adding about a tablespoon of butter, some diced yellow onions and green bell peppers. Let them cook, not until they're translucent, but maybe about two minutes. I'm adding a little more oil because the skillet was a little dry. All right, I'm using arrowroot to make a little, I guess a roux is what we want to call it. And that's going to thicken up my stew. And this is just how I do mine. Don't judge. Everyone cooks differently. All right, I'm going to mix that up a little bit. And if you look up arrowroot, it's much healthier to use than adding flour. Although, not to say I don't use flour. I do sometimes. But today I'm using arrowroot. All right, I'm adding a can of tomato sauce. That last drop of beef bouillon I had in a cup. Adding a little bit of water. Just a little bit, probably 2 to 3 tablespoons to thin it out. I don't want it too thick right now. All right, I'm pouring that into my potatoes and mixed vegetables that have been cooking now for, I guess, 30 minutes. I'm adding a can of stewed diced tomatoes that has garlic and basil included in it. Now, I got some of the arrowroot and some of the soup liquid, and I'm adding 1 can of cream of mushroom soup to that. I'm trying to whisk it, but this measuring cup is too small, so I'm going to transfer it to another container so I can really get in there and dissolve that arrowroot. And arrowroot is used for sauces, gravy, so that's why I'm using arrowroot. Adding a dash of some more Worcestershire sauce, a little salt, some Cajun seasoning, my favorite all-purpose house seasoning. Now I'm going to add that to my hamburger stew. Give it a little stir. Now I'm going to add my drained ground beef. Now, if you remember, I did start with about 3 to 4 cups of water. I added the tomato sauce and the stewed tomatoes. I went on and added 2 more cups of water. So that's why my pot is so full. I'm dropping in 2 bay leaves. And this is where my hamburger stew might be slightly different from others. I'm adding some chili powder, some onion powder, giving it a little stir. It smells good. I gave it a little taste and it needed a little more seasoning for me. So be sure and taste test your soup. You know what you like. So you season it according to your preference. Now, I had a pack of chili mix. So I got the chili mix seasoning and added about a teaspoon or 2. Just to give it some more flavor. That's the packet I'm talking about right there. It came from that box. And I let it cook for 25 minutes. And voila, here's this delicious savory hamburger soup that's perfect for those chilly nights for dinner. I hope you enjoyed this. Hit me up in the comments. And oh yeah, please don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. Peace.